Hello everybody, welcome back to Edic Sport. We're here today, it is Saturday. How nice. Day after Dee's birthday, should have known that. Super sunny today, which is nice. The breeze has died a bit, which is even nicer. Oh, and even nicer than that is that the sea state is no longer 7.5 meters. So we're able to go a bit faster and actually point in a direction that we would like to point rather than where the waves tell us to go. So I have some questions here from Alexander Champy. Less than 800 miles to go, or as Stacey puts it, in one city to hope. How does that feel? It feels very exciting. We are very, very excited to be 800 miles from the finish. The last 1,200 miles have really been the hardest, I would say. Conditions-wise and just technically, we've had a lot of issues, as everyone knows, and we're really excited to hopefully get further without anymore and just keep pushing for these last 800 miles. Talk us through the conditions you've been having lately. It looks impressive. Yeah, I guess you could say it was impressive. We were planning to stay at the Azores for a day, and then once we had the mainsail issue, we decided to carry on because we were going to be slow and would be able to manage the conditions we had ahead. We had 40 to 50 knots and 7.5 to 8 meter swells. They were impressive. The boat was kind of at the sea's will at that point, to be honest. We couldn't really come up onto course because the waves were too rough to sail any higher, so we had no main up and no front sail up, and we were still managing to do an average of around 10 knots, which is pretty impressive with just the mast, the wing mast, which is I think 30 square meters. So yeah, I think that was quite an impressive thing to be a part of, I guess. Some boats never ever will dream of doing 15 knots, and we were doing it with bare poles, which is pretty insane. Is there any irony in getting the worst conditions, not in the Southern Ocean, but so close to the finish? Yeah, well, in the Southern Ocean, we can actually sail around the storm systems. Here, we have to go through this one because there's no way around it. So that makes it quite a bit harder. We just had to push through this one. But yeah, there is a bit of irony in that. You think you're on the home straight and it's the hardest bit. But that's the way that the cookie crumbles. Take us through your setup. How are you moving? So this morning, while I was in bed, some little elves were working. And the little elves peeled from the J3 to the J2, which I didn't even think we were going to be able to because of the rig. So that's exciting. We've got the biggest front sail we can possibly have up. We're now doing, I'd say, an average of around 15 knots. And we have hoisted, we've decided to cool the main all the way down with just the top of the main plugged in. That is now our reef 4. And then up to where the rip is, which is not even a meter higher, we're calling that reef 3. So we've gone from reef 4 to reef 3, and now we have the J2. And yeah, that's really exciting. We're just watching the rig to make sure that it's holding in there and not doing anything weird. But yeah, it's feeling super nice. The sea state's down a bit, like I said that as we came off a giant wave. But yeah, we're able to go faster in the right direction, and it feels like we're chewing up some easy miles to Brest. One last one. How do you manage to stay positive when the odds are piling up against you to get home fast? At some point it just comes to you that you just need to get home. It doesn't matter how fast. And I think yesterday that was the mindset, is that we just need to get home. Like, there is no option. We have to get back to Brest. There's nowhere else that we should go. We just have to keep plugging along. But it is hard to keep a positive attitude, but I just take it every watch at a time. Like, if I'm struggling, one day at a time. If I'm really struggling, every watch at a time. You go back down, you sleep, you reset. Every time after I have a sleep, I feel a lot better in my mind. My parents can probably tell from how I'm texting them when I'm about to go off watch, because sometimes I can be a little bit, I wouldn't say upset, but like a little bit frustrated with the performance of the boat, because you are going so slow and like all the things are piling up, like you say. But yeah, once I wake up, I feel a lot better. It's another watch, reset, and then just keep going, just taking one watch at a time. Yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully we're going to chew up a few more miles than we expected today with our new sales setup. So hopefully we'll be in Brest sooner than we thought, which is really exciting. I can't wait to hit the dock and see all my friends and family. It's going to be cool. Yeah, I'm guessing this is going to be the last live I do. How sad. But I'm sure there'll be more at some other point. Anyway, stay tuned. We'll see you guys soon. In Brest.